The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important choke points on Earth, and right now it's at the center of a dangerous escalation. Iran has moved to restrict or shut down the strait, and the world is reacting fast. Oil markets are on edge. Militaries are watching closely, but the real question isn't just what is happening, it's why and whether this move is escalation or a response. Because to understand this moment, to have a look at what came before it, the United States carried out strikes against Iranian targets without Iranian considered direct provocation. From Tehran's perspective, this wasn't deterrence, it was aggression. And when a country feels it has been attacked unfairly, it doesn't respond politely. It responds in a way that forces the world to pay attention. And that's exactly what the Strait of Hormuz is. Nearly 20% of the world's oil passes through this narrow corridor. It's not just water, it's leverage. By threatening or closing it, Iran isn't just making a military move. It's applying economic pressure on a global scale. This is a signal, not just to the U.S., but to every nation that depends on stable energy flow. From one perspective, this looks like escalation, dangerous, destabilizing, and potentially catastrophic. But from another perspective, it's one of the only tools Iran has. It cannot match the United States in conventional military power. It cannot project force globally, but it can disrupt a system the entire world relies on, and that makes this move strategically powerful. This is where the argument shifts. If the nation is attacked, does it have the right to respond asymmetrically? Iran would argue yes, that closing Hamas isn't reckless, it's proportional. It's the only way available to them, not only matching forces with force, but by targeting the economic lifeline that supports that force. It's not conventional warfare, it's pressure. But justification doesn't remove consequences. The global economy is tightly connected to energy flow, and even a partial disruption sends shockwaves. Oil prices spike. At the time of this recording, they were $110 a barrel. Shipping costs rise, supply chains tighten, and the countries hit hardest aren't necessarily the ones involved in the conflict. It's everyone, consumers, workers, entire economies, feeling the ripple effects almost immediately. $110 a barrel. And that creates a dangerous feedback loop. The more pressure Iran applies, the more incentive other nations have to respond, not just diplomatically, but militarily. Keeping Hamas open is one of the core priorities for global power, which means every move Iran makes increases the risk of direct confrontation that goes far beyond the original conflict. And so far, the only people that are really, everybody else is sitting back at the moment. So now the situation sits on a knife's edge. Iran is signaling, stop pushing or the cost rises for everyone. The United States and its allies are signaling reopening Hamas is non-negotiable. And in between those positions is a narrow gap where miscalculations can happen. One wrong move, one missed signal, and this shift from pressure to open conflict. This is what makes the situation so complex. It's not a simple story of right and wrong. It's power, perception, and response. Iran sees justification, others see escalation, and both sides are acting in ways that make sense from their own perspective. But when those perspectives collide in a place this critical, the consequences don't stay contained. So the real question isn't just whether Iran is justified. It's whether the world can absorb the cost of that justification. Because the Strait of Hormuz isn't just a regional issue, it's global. And what happens here doesn't stay here. It spreads economically, politically, and potentially militarily. And right now, we're moving that line, getting thinner by day by day. And remember, this is Scott for 2028. And I will see you next time.